In this video, we're going to be talking about the differences between a $10,000 a month employee versus a $1,000 a month employee. I think the results might shock you. First up, let's have a look at the $1,000 a month employee. Let's say theoretically you hire a girl named Natalia from Ukraine as a part-time 25 hours a week virtual assistant, administrative assistant, capable of handling a variety of small tasks and other issues that come up in your business. She makes $1,000 a month and she works 25 hours a week. Natalia is able to handle a variety of different tasks in your business, whether it might be working with Excel spreadsheets, responding to emails, uploading social media posts, managing your calendar. For Natalia, this is an amazing opportunity because in times like this, obviously, when you compare the dollar versus overseas currencies, people want to earn in dollars. When your average salary of a country is only a couple $100s a month for full-time work, being able to make $1,000 a month is really motivating for people because it can just go so far. The way that people live abroad is so different. They're not necessarily having mortgages. They're not having all these monthly expenses with car insurance, gas. It's a very different life and money goes extremely far there. On top of that, Natalia gets to work remote. And while there's certainly benefits to having people in the office, there's also lots of benefits to people not having to commute or leave their homes, being able to set up everything they need right in the comfort of their own home so that they're ultimately most productive and also have a good work-life balance. Now, you can find people like Natalia on a variety of different job boards. You can also do a full search on various platforms, whether it's Upwork or LinkedIn. You can find these people out there and they're extremely good, they're extremely motivated, and they're talented people. And on top of that, people like Natalia are looking for opportunities to get into a Western business environment where the opportunities are simply greater. So if they're able to work for an American, a British, Western company, get some valuable experience, and then be able to put that on their resume or be able to grow within that company while also getting to improve their English. Speaking of English, this, of course, is a fair disadvantage. Obviously, people from abroad are not native speakers, so there's always a chance of a little bit of a miscommunication here, a little miscommunication there. Always an issue potentially with simple cultural differences and misunderstandings. What is considered extremely rude in one culture might be considered totally normal in another. There certainly are some drawbacks to these kind of situations. Depending on where you hire from, there are certain countries in the world that are very prone to typhoons and hurricanes and all sorts of other natural problems, as well as power and general internet outages. So these are certainly some disadvantages of the $1,000 employee that you're probably not going to get with the $10,000 a month employee. Probably if you're hiring someone in an office, they're going to be in the office and you know that there's not any critical infrastructure that's always at risk, like maybe in the Philippines. That being said, there's certainly some disadvantages to the $10,000 a month employee. I remember recently I was visiting my parents in California and I went and picked up a pizza at a shop down the street. You know, they've got hiring signs everywhere. It's on the door, it's on the counter, it's on the freaking delivery cars. And I said, how bad is it? And he said, Kyle, if someone comes in for an interview and they've got their shoes tied on properly, that's enough. I will hire them because it's that hard to get good people in the Western world these days. And the reason for that is just the general entitlement culture of so many people. Everybody wants to be a TikTok star or an Instagram star or a YouTuber. Nobody actually wants to go and work a job. One, it's just hard to find them. There's so many of them that aren't actually looking to work, believe it or not. Two, even if you get them, they don't have the work ethic. They don't actually think that there's a path for them in this business. They don't see it as a career because they want to go play on TikTok after. It's just such a different mindset, such a different cultural gap when you're hiring from a country that is quite prosperous or has been for most of its history, the United States or the UK, versus a country that's up and coming where people are hungry for opportunities. And you might be saying, you know, it's probably not going to cost $10,000 to hire someone locally to do the tasks that you just described, but it could when you start factoring insurance and 401k, pension benefits, laptop, having an actual office. And on top of that, if it's not working out, you've got all these different laws. You might have an HR department. There's all these different hoops you have to jump through if someone's simply not the right fit for your business. Like if someone's that's a terrible fit and you know it after the first week, if you've already made an offer and there's a contract signed, it's not as easy as just saying, this isn't working out, we're going to move on. You have all these different avenues, all these different lawyers potentially, all these other departments that have to check you to make sure you're firing somebody properly. And it adds up to be so expensive for somebody who simply doesn't want the job as much because it's not as good of an opportunity and they're not going to be as motivated. They're not making a good salary in a lot of cases. I mean, obviously $10,000, all that other incremental stuff that I just listed is a huge chunk of that. Cost of living, inflation, things have gotten so out of control in the Western world that what used to be a good salary is peanuts these days. I remember my father, he's a mechanical engineer. When he first started his career, he was making $35,000 a month. And I think they bought their first house for like $160,000. That house has gone up 5.5, 7 times in value. Did the salary of that starting engineer? No. Maybe it went up double. Like maybe a starting mechanical engineer now would make $65,000, $70,000, and everything is way more expensive. So the question is, do you want someone who's young, hungry, motivated, like wants to work with a Western company and is going to come in and just crush it for your business at 1/10 of the price it's going to cost to get someone who probably doesn't even want to be there? It is this simple. You look at these numbers, the cultural differences, the language differences, that is a gap that can be filled when you're saving 90% and you're getting somebody better and you're giving someone a good opportunity, plain and simple. If you're looking to get one of these A+ $1,000 employees, book a call at the link below, hire-ua.com. We specialize in sourcing premium Ukrainian talent with all the criteria that I've just listed out in this video, and we will do it in record time. If you're interested in learning how to get ahead of 99% of other business owners and start taking back your time and ultimately living the life that you actually want to live as an entrepreneur, go right there, watch the video, how to get ahead of 99% of business owners.